Hi and welcome back to the Going Gold Homestead. Today's video is primarily about completing all the framing for our deck, or stoep in my mother tongue Afrikaans. We also spent a little bit of time on building the entrance to the homestead. More on that later. It's been some time since the previous update. We've spent some of the time off the farm, first to do a beautiful 5-day hike, and then to assist our daughter and her husband in relocating to Cape Town. We have delayed the exterior cladding of our tiny home because of the height of the front of the house from the ground. My ladder is simply not long enough to do the work. The deck in front of the house was planned from the beginning, and this deck will also be the scaffolding to finish the Newtec fiber cement board cladding. The time finally came for us to start work on that. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel. Seeing the channel grow means you are interested in our journey and provides me with extra motivation to create these videos of our progress. Having to dig another 8 holes 60 centimeters deep in the middle of summer is one of the reasons for the long delay. But early January we got down to business, and for several days this is all we did. With daytime temperatures over 35 degrees or 100 Fahrenheit, we did most of the work in the early mornings in the shadow of the house or the late afternoons. These are 6-inch turned poles, and they are planted using concrete in an extremely rocky terrain. Even though I am using CCA treated poles, the part that goes underground is painted using a wood preservative, and the top part is oiled using linseed oil. I used the same method for fastening the beams, namely a cutout at the top of the pole and 12mm threaded rod, washers and nuts to fasten the beams to the poles. The beams are the same as those supporting the house. They are also CCA treated and painted with linseed oil. The joists are the same 2x6 treated lumber as our floor joists. You will see some warping in some of the beams and joists. This is something I've had to get used to. As the wood dries in our climate, some bending and twisting is basically inevitable. The joists are fastened to the house on one side using hangers, but does not rely on that connection as a structural support. It is fastened to the house to minimize any downward flex from the overhang on the house side. I procured 2 sheets of shutterply to use as scaffolding for my ladder while I'm cladding the front of the house. The decking planks will be fitted only after we've completed the cladding. The joists are fastened to the beams using hurricane clips. The joists are spaced 450 mm on centers, that's 16 inches. The total size of the deck will be approximately 8.8 meter wide by 3.4 meters long. Blocking is fitted between the joists to keep the joist plumb and straight. I will also be fitting cross-bracing poles on the outer front foundation poles to stop any swaying of the deck. Even though the deck is never going to carry a high load, it's almost 2 meters off the ground at the front, and I don't want any possibility of weakness in the construction. You don't just want to get your deck up, you want it to stay up. In addition to the deck build, we also spent a few days on putting up an entrance to our homestead. We decided on 2 stone pillars, one on either side of the access road to the house. These pillars are approximately 200 meters from the house. We filled some welded steel mesh cylinders with rocks. Luckily, we have lots and lots and lots of rocks around, but we still had to cart them to the site using our wheelbarrow. The end result is very pleasing. I also tried my hand at sign making using a piece of leftover roof beam and the router. Black chalkboard paint finished the sign, positioned at the turnoff to our place. And so we come to the end of another update. Thank you for watching and see you next time.